Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our presentation on the G7 EXO, the world's first connected area monitor with the G7 technology built into it. And again, my name is Glen. I'm the Director of Sales for North America for Blackline Safety. And today I'm going to be presenting to you what the new product are that we're launching right now and be available in early 2020 for all of the customers and all of our end users that are looking for a better way to do area monitoring. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Blackline Safety. So Blackline has a long, deep-rooted history in innovation. We started with a G7 device, really changed gas detection across the world when we came out with our connected gas detector. Now you can see everybody else around the world is starting to try to do a similar methodology of what we're doing for connected technology. Now we're incorporating that into another area monitoring device, which is going to really revolutionize that area. We have 500 years of gas detection experience in our organization, plus. We have extremely strong leadership with regards to gas detection, and our knowledge about gas detection is industry leading, truly. G7 really revolutionized gas detection. For anybody who does not know what a G7 is, this is what a G7 is. It's a personal monitor device that is connected to the internet and can give you real-time reporting on your gas detection, on your workers. Are they safe? Where are they? So on and so forth. So if you'd like to know more about the G7, of course, join us in the rest of the booth. We're the first with cellular and satellite connectivity. So not only do we use cellular to connect to the internet, we can also use satellite to connect to the internet. So we're the first organization to come out with that for gas detection. And again, it really revolutionized gas detection around the world. And we're also an industry leader in industrial Internet of Things. So that is just really a way to make sure that you're capturing data in real time and that you have the ability to use that data in your business every day to make some really good decisions about your safety programs, about your people, and keeping everyone safe. So that's a little bit about Blackline Safety. We manufacture all of our own stuff. We monitor all of our own systems. And we add significant value to our customers and through our entire value chain. So the G7 EXO, this is what you're here to hear about. So it is a connected area monitoring. So that's essentially this device here is what the G7 EXO is. So it is really a next generation area monitor. It is extremely easy to set up, it is extremely easy to deploy and get information from. So we have direct to the cloud communication. So this device has the ability to have cellular and satellite connectivity in it, giving you real-time information from your area monitoring anywhere you might be in the world. It's versatile and easy to deploy, so I'll talk a little bit about that here in a few minutes, about how easy it is to deploy the area monitor. And it's also state-of-the-art technology, so everything that we've done in our G7 device to make it an industry-leading, really truly revolutionary gas detector, we've built into the G7 EXO, and then we've added a lot of other functionality into the device that really is state-of-the-art technology. And again, durability in all conditions. Feedback we received from all the customers when we were designing this is that it's got to work in rain and in heat, in snow, in all kinds of conditions. You pick it, it's got to work in those types of conditions. So we've designed this to work in every single possible weather condition at any time. So why choose the EXO? Centralized monitoring hub. What that really means is, if you again walk through our booth, you'll see we'll talk a lot about our portal and how we manage all of our devices through what's called the portal. That's our cloud-based software that you access through your web browser. And it will tell you where are all your G7 devices, but it'll also tell you what's going on with your G7 EXO. So not only can you see what's happening with other people, you can see what's happening with your area monitoring in real time. And you can manage all of the customization for all of those devices, for those monitors, what's happening with them, all in real time on our portals, and all through one connected hub, which is extremely convenient for our customers, and you can really do a lot of interesting stuff with that system. And again, it's easier to learn more about that as you go through our booth, but it's a really big feature of this device. Configurable. What's really important about our system is that you can configure it for exactly what your what your business requires and what your safety requirements are. You can change the geofence radius on this, for example, through the portal. You can change your gas settings. You can change the SOS latch pull. What happens when you pull that latch? Who's it going to go to? What's going to happen when you do that? All configurable through the web. One of the big things about the area monitor that we've designed here is that it's extremely easy to set up. So we call it set and forget. You can literally take this out to a work site, set it down, turn it on. It's already in your organization on our portal, and every other G7 that's in that portal as well will automatically be picked up by the G7 EXO, and will automatically be, those G7 devices will automatically be incorporated into that entire area monitoring system. And so it's extremely easy to set up. There's no requirements of any other kind other than just to turn it on, and then it automatically picks up everybody. Leading runtime. One of the most impressive things with this device is that it's going to run over 100 days on one battery charge. which is way longer than anything else out in the marketplace. Anybody who has any experience in transportable area monitoring, there's nothing else even remotely close to what this can do. So 100 days is incredible. Direct cloud, again, this is a whole new thing for area monitoring. Having direct-to-cloud information access at real time at your fingertips whenever you want it to see what's happening in that area is something that you can't do today, not to the degree that we have it. Geofence-driven automation, that's a really big thing that people are talking about geofencing and incorporating geofencing into their overall business and how things behave inside a geofence. So for example, we can set this up, set it down, you can set up a 100-foot, 200-foot, 10-kilometer radius that you're looking for, or perimeter, and then any of the devices that are in that perimeter, you can set up how they behave. So you can set up somebody going into there, they have the right permits, do they have the right training, do they have the right tickets, should they be in there, is it a very dangerous area that you should not go into unless you're masked up. You can have this device do all of those types of automated reports back to the G7 so people can get warnings that they're not in a place where they should be, or that they are in a place they should not be, sorry. So geofence automation is really an exciting part of where we're going with the G7 EXO. And then the expansion ports. So along the side here, you can't see, we have the I/O ports, input-output ports, so you can hook up sirens, you can hook up lights, you can hook up weather, external weather monitoring, and then you can have inputs as far as additional power generation. Real-time connectivity. So as I mentioned, cellular satellite. Again, we really innovated having cellular and satellite connected devices with the G7. This device here, our G7 has either cellular or satellite. This device has both built into it. So you can have both on at the same time, which means that you will never be out of connectivity. Will always be reliable, constant connectivity, which is the next bullet point we have. With this device, you will never, ever be in a place where you don't know what's happening with your area monitoring system. Again, there's nothing else in the world that can provide you with that type of line of sight. 10-second data collection. Again, as you start to look at when you're monitoring an area, you really want to know what's happening in real time all the time. So 10-second data collection is an enormous amount of data. Millions and millions and millions of data points that you can use to make decisions in your business in real time, and then look at trends over time to see what can you do better with your safety programs, what can you do better with keeping your workers safer, what's happening in certain areas at a certain time. Another thing's really great about our devices is that we have two-way communication built into all of our devices. So our G7 device has two-way communication. We built that exact same functionality into our device here. This red latch here, well, you can pull that and you can have a two-way emergency communication with a 24/7 monitoring service that will tell you, do you need help? Do you need to have a 911 sent or emergency service sent to help you out? So that two-way voice communication is something that no one else offers in the industry. And then real-time event alerts. Again, that's really important as you pick up an H2S hit, if you pick up something around, if you have weather patterns feeding into this and there's a tornado on the way, you can actually send those real-time alerts into the device, and then that will spread that message out to other G7 devices. So you can have some really incredible use of real-time event alerts, and then you have a record of it as well in our cloud-based portal where you can look at the historical trends of those real-time alerts and where did they happen, because we have the GeoMap, of course, because it has GPS built into it, similar to what our G7 devices have as well. So you'll always know where it was, when it was, how it was, and how did it play out. And then Blackline SOC, that's our Safety Operations Center. That's our 24/7 monitoring service that we provide as an option to our customers. If you want to have that additional layer of safety where you know your workers are going to be always protected, we have that available to you as well. So ease of deployment, set and forget. Immediate connectivity. That's probably the single largest benefit of this device. You turn it on, it's in your organization, all the rest of your G7 devices are in it as well. It's automatically communicating. There's nothing else you need to do to set this up. You simply turn it on. There's nothing else in the market that can actually have that ease of setup and connectivity right away. Ultra-long battery life, which you've already talked about, and a flexible mounting system. You can see here it's on a tripod, but we also have the ability to hook it up to any other fastening system that you might need on scaffolding or on any kind of railings, that type of stuff. So it's very easy to mount. No cables, no cords, no nothing to make this thing work. It's extremely easy to deploy again and extremely easy to set up. Versatility. So it utilizes the existing cartridge for our G7. So the G7, which I have on my jacket here, that's our standard device. This device here uses the same gas detection cartridge head that is on our G7 device. So you literally take this cartridge and you insert it into the device. So now you have multi-functionality with the cartridge heads that you have available to you through our G7 system, which comes on the devices themselves. So you have multiple uses for these cartridges, and you can switch them out to different types of gas sensors. If you want to detect ammonia, if you want to detect chlorine, or whatever it might be, you can have customized cartridges that can go either on your devices or inside the G7 EXO. Connection to unlimited G7 devices. That's another benefit of our area monitoring. When you're setting up perimeter monitoring with other systems, you're limited to 20, 30 devices. Ours is unlimited. You could have hundreds of G7 devices monitored by this area monitoring system, which again, you're not limited by any restrictions of any kind. Again, very different than anyone else. GPS enabled, which I already spoke about, and that's an incredible benefit. When you want to know where was my gas hits, where were my events, where were my alerts, what was happening, that GPS combined with the EXO as well as the device is unbelievable information that you don't have today. Real-time device configuration, which I spoke about earlier. We also have a pump option on this device. So we have a diffusion model, which is just simply a passive model. We also have one that will have a 4-pump option on the side of it. So you can be monitoring 4 confined spaces at one time if you'd like to. You can be monitoring 4 different areas. And they're all monitored individually, so separately. So you'll know where exactly that gas sample came from and what that gas sample looked like. All-weather operation. So again, we talked about it's got to work in all types of environments, all types of settings. So snow, cold, hot, rain, doesn't matter. This thing is designed to sit out in the weather for months at a time. That's the whole design behind this product. Geofencing integration. I talked a little bit earlier about how geofencing has become such a big part of today's connected worker. So the geofence zones, you can change those online, but you can also change them at the EXO itself. So if you have workers who simply want to get out to the field and set up a perimeter that they want to be monitored by 100 feet, 200 feet, 1 kilometer, you simply set that on the screen. You don't have to go to a portal. You don't have to go online. You can just simply do it at the device. If you'd like to be more sophisticated and do it online and have your administrators manage that for you, you can do that as well. Automatic alerts to one or all of the G7s, that's a real major advantage for this. So if something happens that this picks up a certain gas or a certain instance or event that's happening, it can signal out to all the G7 devices at the same time and do a mass evacuation of an area. It can do mass messaging that, hey, look, somebody's had an incident over in a certain area. Can you guys run over and see if that person's okay? So there's a real mesh network that's designed by this system. We can also incorporate weather data. So when you think about, is there tornadoes in the area? Is there anything that's going to happen from a weather perspective? We can incorporate all of that into the device, and again, that loads real time into the cloud and then tells you what's happening in the area that you're monitoring, so you know if your people are safe. So you think about emergency rescue, or if you're in a disaster area, you can actually use this to help you understand what's happening with the weather that's incoming. And then you can integrate into systems. I put up HRIS and EHS software as an example, but we can also integrate into things like Primavera. We can integrate into other systems that might be other data points that you would like to have in one portal to tell you what's happening with your people. We also have asset tracking, which we talk about in some of our other areas in the booth. We can have all of that information going into the portal at the same time. And so to wrap up, the G7 EXO is a very, very versatile, easy to deploy, connected area monitoring system. It also has a lot of other things that we can do with it, where we can set it up with a solar panel. So it does have a 100-day runtime on one battery charge, but you can also set up a solar panel so that it can have runtime as long as you need it to be. So you could literally set it up out in an area, in a remote area that you want to monitor, and have set up for an ongoing, every day, for months and months and months. And that's what the solar panel will allow you to do. We also have the ability to tie it into access control. So you think about, what can we do with the area monitor if it detects something that's happening? Let's say you're out at a rig site and you have a well blowout and you have a bunch of H2S that gets released. You'd want to have a way to set a control so that you can close the gates, you can shut off valves, you can shut off access to that site. This can do all of that stuff. So we can tie into access control so that this device will actually control other parts of your entire organization or your facility that you would like it to do. Connected to sirens and lights, as we talked about earlier. And then the real-time information and tying that into an analytics package is something that's very exciting for many of our customers, to be able to look back, see what's happening with their sites, see what's happening with their gas hits, where are they happening, and do some forensics on what you've seen with the analytics that you have access to. So that real-time information is a significant advantage for our customers that, again, if you want to see more detail about that, please join us in our booth behind me and take a look at those different opportunities that we have for providing you with more value. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and we're going to do the draw now.